up on KHSL News at 5:30, a man instrumental in sharing and shaping the character of the Butte County is dead tonight. We paid tribute to the former Butte County Sheriff Larry Gillick.
In Shasta County, measurable amounts of dioxins are surfacing in trout taken from the Sacramento River. We'll find out how investigators plan to trace the toxic substance.
Plus, scores of caring, unselfish North Staters are giving their time to a friend whose son is stricken with cancer. Hello, I'm Wendy Atherton.
I'm Dean Reeder. KHSL News at 5:30 is next.
This is Crazy Bernie here with my cat, Sport. Ray's, with over 10,000 videos, has one of the largest selections in the United States. Ray's has the most new releases, action adventures, and instructionals, the most children's, families, and comedy, the most foreign, classics, and horror, the most science fictions, dramas, and Nintendos. And we have them so that you can find them. Every video is indexed, cross-indexed, cataloged, and organized so that you can find what you want.
It's happening now, the inventory liquidation sale at Pizzazz in Chico. It's your chance for big savings on futons, frames, and more. Save 20 to 50% on all floor models and discontinued items. Choose from a large selection of futon covers and a colorful assortment of prints and solids up to 50% off. All floor models and discontinued items must go, so hurry in today. The inventory liquidation sale ends soon at Pizzazz, 938 Mangrove Avenue next to Food World in the Mangrove Plaza, Chico.
It's 5:30, and you're watching the North State's #1 news source, KHSL, the news station, with live coverage from throughout Northern California. Reported by Dean Reeder, Wendy Atherton, meteorologist Anthony Watts, and Royal Cortain with sports. Now KHSL News at 5:30.
Good afternoon. Most knew him as just the sheriff. Larry Gillick, Butte County Sheriff from 1951 to 1983, has died.
Channel 12's Debbie Cobb is standing by live in our Chico newsroom with more on the man who touched the lives of many. Debbie?
Dean and Wendy, former Sheriff Larry Gillick died of an apparent heart attack last night in Long Beach. He was attending a Marine reunion there of the New Orleans crew and was watching the World Series, the sport he loved. Gillick took the office of sheriff on January 8, 1951, keeping the elected title until 1983, holding one of the longest elected terms as sheriff in the country. Present Sheriff Leroy Wood worked with Gillick for nearly 30 years.
The easiest way to talk about Larry Gillick is that he had a true love for fellow man. He loved everybody, and people came before anything of his needs. I mean, before his needs were important, the other people's needs were taken care of. And I think he proved that through 32 years as sheriff.
A baseball diamond in Chico had been named after him, the Larry Gillick Little League Field. He also played a large role in Christmas toy drives. This was one of his many in 1979. Larry Gillick dead at the age of 79. Gillick, a legend in his own time. Coming up at 6:30, Dean and Wendy will talk to a longtime close friend of Larry, and we'll share more of his many accomplishments. Reporting live in the Chico newsroom, I'm Debbie Cobb. Dean and Wendy?
Thank you, Debbie.
The state's wildlife management policies came under fire at a public hearing in Red Bluff this morning. The Senate Committee on Economic, Resource, and Rangeland Issues listened to more than 3 hours of testimony. Channel 12's Linda Watkins-Bennett reports the chair of the committee, Senator Jim Nielsen, is promising action on a number of the concerns raised today.
The Private Lands Wildlife Management Program was started throughout the state in 1984. Basically, it provides economic incentives for landowners who manage their land to benefit wildlife by extending hunting privileges they can then charge money for. Speakers today touched on a number of problems they have with the job the Fish and Game Department is doing on the management end of things. Local cattlemen and county supervisors would like to see several issues addressed, but say until now there's been a communication breakdown.
We wrote a letter, for example, March 1st of this year about some suggestions on the Tehama wildlife area. 9 suggestions that we felt were sound, such as improved campgrounds for the public and fire protection measures and the grazing to more coincide on a limited basis with the Tehama County Cattlemen's Association grazing practices. We felt were good, sound communication. We've received no direct response.
Others say the current management plan is piecemeal, that we need stronger leadership to minimize the impacts of people in wildlife areas.
It needs to have very, very large picture, perhaps larger than the state of California. It needs to have a goal of what we're trying to accomplish. It needs to have a landscape description of how we want the land to look like 200 years from now, and what we want that land to produce.
There were a lot of concerns voiced today about the lack of communication and misinformation. These concerns, Senator Jim Nielsen says, may have prompted the committee hearing in the first place.
The biggest concern people have is the failure of government to communicate with them, and they don't know what's going on, and they resent that, number one. Now, they may still object to whatever the policy is, but if they've not had any input, they particularly object.
Most of those at the meeting voiced support for the wildlife plan in general, but say several changes must be made to ensure the future of one of our most important resources. In Tehama County, I'm Linda Watkins Bennett, Channel 12 News.
The Environmental Protection Agency says there are measurable amounts of toxin, dioxin, in trout taken from the Sacramento River near Anderson. The samples were taken from near the wastewater outlets of Simpson Paper Company. The EPA admits that it made a mistake in not first reporting that rainbow trout contain dioxin, which is normally found in the outlets of pulp and paper mills. Because trout is such a popular sport fish, the concern over dioxin poisoning has increased. However, there is no information that the toxic level found near Anderson is hazardous to humans, except over a long term, but more studies are beginning tonight.
Food and clothing cost more last month, and that helped drive overall retail prices up 0.3%. Today's inflation figures have special meaning for senior citizens. Social Security payments are directly related to the Consumer Price Index. And because the September index went up, benefits will rise 4% in January, giving seniors an extra $21 a month on the average.
We'll get a raise all right, but they'll also take out more for our Medicare. So a 6 of one, half dozen the other.
Well, I think the government could do more. I believe that our Social Security is a fine thing, but I think that too many people dip into the Social Security bag and use the money for things that it's not intended for. I'd like to see that this be stopped.
The rise in food prices means the effects of the drought have not disappeared. At the same time, gasoline prices dropped 1.7%. Clothing had the biggest jump, rising 2.2%. The September rate of inflation means the cost of living is rising at about 4% annually.
Students throughout the North State are reaping the benefits of unique anti-drug rallies.
While a harvest of good times is going on at the first annual Harvest Fair in Shasta County. We'll take in the sights and the sounds when we come back.
Here's Harvey Rosenfield, the Santa Monica activist who wrote Prop 103. Harvey's pretty good at getting publicity for himself. Here's Harvey at a press conference, dumping manure. Here's Harvey at another press conference with gun-toting associates. Harvey knows how to get press, but does he know how to write an auto insurance initiative? Prop 103 lets government into the auto insurance business. And in New Jersey, that led to a $2.7 billion deficit. Vote no on Prop 103.
For 1 week only, Gottschalk's entire stock of boots and booties is on sale. Save 20% on names like Naturalizer, Corelli, Poppy, and Candies now through Saturday at Gottschalk's.
We can't guarantee that this tire won't fail. Nobody can. But if it does, Big O Tires will replace it, free of charge.
George Bush was made responsible for stopping drug traffic into this country. What happened? Cocaine traffic up 300%. More drugs in our classrooms. And Panamanian drug lord Noriega kept on the government payroll. That's the Bush record on fighting drugs. And the man George Bush wants in charge of the problem next, Dan Quayle.
I'm going to be coordinating the drug effort.
In his state, Mike Dukakis got results. More drug offenders behind bars. Drug use down in the high schools. Michael Dukakis for president.
How'd you like to take a vacation from car payments?
What?
From now until October 31st, take a 3-month vacation from car payments at your Northern California Chevrolet dealers. That means when you buy a new Chevy car or truck, you don't make any monthly payments till January 1989. No October, November, or December car payment. just when you need it. No payments till next year. And you could qualify for no down payment. But no payments till next year ends October 31st. So see your nearest Northern California Chevy dealer today.
The Rubbermaid 5-piece Serve and Saver set is microwave and dishwasher safe. In October, it's just $3.99 at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Residents in the South Bidwell Park area in Chico took their first step last night to confront what they see as a recent rise in crime. Members of almost a dozen neighborhood watch groups convened last night for a strategy session on how to fight drug and burglary problems. Residents were most concerned that they're feeling simply that there's not enough police protection.
A noticeable upswing in petty theft, and in some cases not so petty theft, and in some corners of the neighborhood in what appears to be narcotics dealing and so on. And I think it's in our interest to organize, as any neighborhood might, and to interface with the police in a more effective way.
Residents claim some nearby rental homes are being used to deal drugs. They blame that more than anything in the rise of crime there.
We've had several burglaries in the neighborhood. The home across from me at one point was burglarized 3 times within a 6-month period. The gentleman across from me who no longer lives there lost quite a bit of equipment, including photographic equipment that was quite expensive to replace.
Neighborhood groups will soon be meeting with Chico Police to come up with an anti-crime program.
Well, despite many recent crises in Shasta County, there is a bright spot among county workers who have given up vacation time to help a friend in need. 270 county workers have given portions of their vacation time to a fellow worker whose son is dying of cancer. Over 1,900 hours, which is about 1 year of vacation, have been donated to the woman so she can spend time with her ailing son.
I gave a week, but I get 3 weeks vacation, so maybe in proportion to, you know, some of the people that don't earn as much, it wasn't that much greater than anybody else. I don't feel that it was anyway. And to know where what you're donating is going is a good feeling, you know, like, not that United Crusade or any of these others aren't good causes, because they are, but I think it makes you feel good when you can see the direct benefit.
The anonymous recipient of the vacation time has already used up her own vacation, but now she is in a position to care for her son during the critical period of his cancer therapy. The anti-drug message is being delivered to students in Shasta County in an entertaining way. Kevin Wanser is the co-chairman of an organization called World Youth Against Drugs. He's been an intern on the David Letterman Show and is considered a humorist as he talks to students about ways to stay away from drugs. Wanser is a teen trainer for the Just Say No Foundation and has worked actively with Nancy Reagan in the fight against drug use and abuse among teens. He began speaking in Shasta County last night. Wanser spoke at several schools today and is the keynote speaker at the Dare to Care conference tomorrow in Reading at the Shasta Inn.
The Harvest Fair is a brand new event that has just opened its doors to the public at the Shasta Fairgrounds in Anderson. Agriculture is the theme to this 3-day event, and organizations such as the 4-H and Future Farmers of America will be on hand to display their wares.
It's a promotion about agriculture, and agriculture of Shasta County specifically. We're trying to really relate to the public the importance of agriculture here in Shasta County, and we're tying this event in with the Anderson Lions Club gun show and craft show, as well as our simulcast wagering and a little bit of food, some entertainment, and trying to make a fun weekend out of it.
Some daily contests include pumpkin carving and corn on the cob eating competitions. A country western street dance is scheduled to begin at 8 p.m. tonight, and the fair opens tomorrow at 10 a.m. Too bad. I'd like to go to that street dance.
Well, it's going to be a perfect weekend for soaking up all the sun you want.
And Anthony is in next, and he says the forecast is absolutely radiant. Stay tuned.
Your good health is important, and Orchard Nutrition Center is celebrating good health by making this month Customer Appreciation Month. Right now, the entire line of Cal, that's every vitamin, mineral, and herb, buy one, get one free. Orchard Nutrition Center offers the most extensive line of natural supplements of only the highest quality. For additional savings, Orchard Nutrition Center has an entire section of overstocked and liquidation items, up to 75% off. Great values and savings are yours at Orchard Nutrition Center in the Cypress Square in Reading.
free computer from Computer Center of Chico. Yes, Computer Center of Chico in Reading is offering a free Apple IIc Plus computer when you purchase Apple's professional Macintosh SE or the powerful Macintosh 2 computer system. And Apple makes it easy with Apple Credit. Buy now and make your first payment in February of 1989. Wouldn't you like a free computer? Come see Computer Center of Chico for details. Computer Center of Chico, your authorized Apple dealer.
Larry Gillick Ford in Marysville says beat the '89 factory price increase. We still have plenty of 1988 cars and trucks in stock, many with factory rebates of up to $1,000. Ford Festivas from just $62.88 or $129 per month. Ford Aerostars from just $10,988. And Ford Thunderbirds loaded with luxury options, only $12,988. Save hundreds, even thousands on remaining 1988 models in stock. Only at Larry Gillick Ford, 1104 E Street in Marysville.
I'll have a little light salad.
Well, do you care for some buffalo wings?
Why not? They're free. Blueberry pancakes. Eggs Benedict and champagne, dear. French toast.
How about prime rib?
Let's try sizzling.
Anthony, I'd like to know if the weekend is going to be as nice as today.
I would say that's a fair assumption, except it'll be a little cooler. Smoke and haze, since I don't think the burning's going to be quite as active this weekend. Now, if we look at our high today, it was a little cooler than yesterday. And actually, we're not going to look at the high. We're first going to go to the cloud chart. That's right. Thank you, Mr. Director. As you see here, this is the famous cirrostratus, or cirrocumulus, pardon me. What am I saying? I'm messed up tonight. It's been one of those weeks. I can't seem to get together here when I get out of the set for some reason. Cirrocumulus tonight. Now, you can see these pretty commonly throughout the North State. As a matter of fact, there were some out there today. This is all part of this cloud, KHSL cloud chart that I'm giving away. And if you'd like to get one of these, write to 1927 Mangrove Box 12 Chico, send $9.95 and $1 postage, and we'll get you one of those. It's got a neat description about all types of clouds that you commonly see in the West. And they're about 2 by 3 feet, suitable for framing in color. Anyway, let's take a look now at the picturesque scenery from outside. Some flowers are blooming. We've got some fall blooms going on. High today was 85, the low was 49. Sunrise at 7:26 and sunset at 6:20 this evening. And that reminds me, we've had a lot of questions today about, is this the weekend that we're going to change over to daylight savings time or back from daylight savings time or whatever? No, it is not the weekend. It happens on October 30th. Red Bluff has 89 right now, Reading at 90 degrees, Willows reporting 86, and Yuba City has 88 right now, Chico at 83, and Paradise a mild 81. Winds are light and variable, humidity is at 18%, barometric pressure is at 29.90 and falling slightly. No significant change in our lake levels either at Shasta Lake or at Lake Oroville today. Los Angeles has some partly cloudy skies and 69. It's foggy at Monterey right now with 55 degrees, and there is some clouds streaming across the northwest corner of the state right now. We can see them on our satellite photo here. You can also see all the fog bank that's out over the Pacific. Now, what's going on is that the pattern, the jet stream pattern, is shifting just a little bit today. This high is losing some of its dominance. We're getting an influx of some cooler marine air into the northwest and a very, very weak front. I mean, you could hardly call it a front, but it's coming in, and it will probably bring us some slightly cooler weather tomorrow and on Sunday. So that should make the weekend comfortable. We do not expect any rain to come from this system, although because this high is losing its dominance, we do expect a change in our weather pattern towards the middle part of next week. Now, on the East Coast, it's a completely different story. They've got completely overcast conditions, rain, drizzle, fog, thunderstorms, and in the New England states, reports of some snow flurries tonight. They'll probably even get some measurable snow in some of the New England states this evening. Elsewhere in the country, generally clear and sunny today with mild temperatures. It'll also be clear tonight. We expect temperatures to be from the low 50s to the middle 50s tonight in the valley. Partly cloudy along the coast, perhaps some fog in that region. And for tomorrow, it will be sunny again, with the exception of coastal areas. Chico will have a high of about 88. Corning, sunny, and 88 also. Partly cloudy in Eureka and Fort Bragg, perhaps some fog in that region. Gridley, sunny, and 88 degrees. Mount Shasta reaching a high of 73. Oroville will also have a high of about 88. In Red Bluff and Reading, 90 and 89 respectively. Sacramento, sunny and 86. With Susanville, sunny and 73. Looking for a high of 79 in Ukiah, with Weed, sunny and 73. Wairika reaching a high of 77. Tomorrow evening, it'll be clear again with partly cloudy to cloudy conditions along coastal areas. On Sunday, nice day, temperatures will be cool into the 70s and 80s. And the 3-day forecast calls for sunny skies on Monday with partly cloudy conditions and chance of failing computers on Wednesday.
Just like last Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Anthony. Caltrans reports most North State highways will be free from obstruction for the weekend. Construction will resume Monday on I-5 north of Lakehead, State Route 32 east of Chico, Highway 70 near Belden, and the 24-hour controls on Highway 89 at Greenville will remain in effect. Sports is next. Royal has Brian Harper, the Minnesota Twins, on hand to take a look at what happened to the Oakland A's in this year's World Series.
Ernie's Cash Registers and Office Equipment and Olympia Typewriters. Two names you can depend on for service and reliability. So whether your choice is a portable electronic or an electronic memory typewriter with display for word processing, you'll find Olympia fits your needs. Ernie's also features a complete selection of stationery and office furniture for your business needs. Call for a free demonstration in your office or come by and see us at 1424 Mangrove Avenue in Chico, where service is our specialty.
There is one car that delivers quality and dependability at a low price. The 89 Mazda 323 hatchback. It's fun to drive, too, with a fuel-injected 1.6-liter engine that packs plenty of power. And you won't believe the room and comfort it gets you for a sticker price of only $62.99. See your Mazda dealer now.
Get a great deal at your Northern California Mazda dealers today.
Who do you trust?
Oh, my dog, my mother, and you. Not in that order, of course.
How about the insurance industry? Trust them to lower our rates?
You gotta be kidding.
Props 104 and 106, written by the insurance industry.
They gotta be kidding.
104 and 106 by the insurance industry for the insurance industry. What are you doing?
Writing them down. I don't trust my memory either. No on 104 and 106.
Now, about that dog.
I lied. I don't have a dog.
This week at Safeway, you can buy twice as much during the big half-price sale on items like 9-ounce Tillamook sharp cheddar cheese, half-priced at just 94 cents. Or Safeway lean top round steak for London broil, half-priced only $1.99 a pound. Other specials, too, like 6.5-ounce cans of Star-Kissed tuna, oil or water packed, just 69 cents each. Everybody's favorite 7-Up drinks are only $1.49 a six-pack. So double your savings during Safeway's big half-price sale.
Royal has asked Dean and myself what happened to the A's, but now you've brought in somebody else to find out what really happened.
It's because the old Dodger fan over here wasn't giving me any answers I wanted to hear, and we're going to get an expert to help us out here in just a second. First off, though, some interesting matchups on tonight's prep schedule and a chance for us to see a couple of small school powerhouse teams in action. Now, here's a rundown of the games we'll have for you tonight at 11. Pleasant Valley will try to bounce back from last week's Ammon Bowl loss tonight against LP. The T-Birds looked impressive in their league opening win over Paradise. That one at University Stadium. Corning hosts Orland, and Anderson plays Enterprise at Thompson Field. Small schools unbeaten Biggs host Esparto in the Sacramento Valley League. That's a 7 o'clock varsity kickoff. The Wolverines now second in our small school top 5. Hayfork is at Los Molinos at 7:30. We'll do our 6:30 sportscast live from the Bulldog Stadium. Princeton hosts Maxwell this afternoon. We'll have those highlights for you at 6:30 and again at 11. Highlights from all these games and all the scores. A complete wrap-up for you tonight at 11. The call of wait until next year is already being heard throughout Northern California. Most thought it would be this year for the Bashers by the Bay, but the team in blue had something else to say. The Dodgers in complete control of the 5th and deciding game. Mickey Hatcher, just like he did in Game 1, got them going with a 2-run homer. This one off Storm Davis, who had a miserable series. A's came back to make it 2-1, but then former A Mike Davis smacks a 3-0 pitch from Storm for another 2-run homer with Oral Hershiser on the mound. The game seemed to be put away. Rick Dempsey came in and he added a little insurance to the LA Dodgers cause. Tommy likes what he sees there. His double driving Davis for the 5-1 lead. The A's would score just one more before Vince Scully, the longtime Dodger announcer, made the final call.
Dempsey will stop it. Got him. They've done it. Like the 1969 Mets. It's the impossible dream revisited.
Whether it's a miracle or not, the Dodgers must be given all the credit. An impressive performance in an improbable season, and it's not the A's and it's not the Mets. It's the Dodgers who earned the title as the best team in baseball. For the A's, a question will come fast and furious. The most obvious, what happened? And joining us now and helping us with this question is Minnesota Twins catcher Brian Harper. Brian currently resides in Orland. Brian, I guess the question is, what did happen this year? I don't understand how these guys, the Bashers from the Bay, could have been so thoroughly whipped in this World Series.
Well, there's a saying in baseball that good pitching stops good hitting, and that's exactly what happened. The Dodgers pitching was excellent, from Oral Hershiser to the relievers, Jay Howell, Alejandro Pena. They just threw the ball great, and when pitchers make good pitches, they're going to get good hitters out. And it wasn't that the A's hitters choked or were pressed, but it was the pitchers just threw the ball great. That's exactly what happened.
Brian, sometimes it looked like they were a little bit over-anxious, the A's batters. That particular swing right there by Jose Canseco, I believe that was the first pitch. Hershiser had been struggling. Is that something that could have come with overconfidence or frustration?
Well, it comes out of frustration when you're trying to hit 3-run homers with nobody on base, or you're trying to come up with 3 or 4 run innings. You're trying to hit home runs instead of doing the things that got them there, getting the runners over and getting base hits in big situations. It just comes from, like I said, the Dodgers pitching was so good during the series that there was really nothing the A's hitters could do.
Brian, a year ago, the Minnesota Twins were the so-called team of destiny, and no one thought that they would win it, and they did. Now it's the Dodgers' turn. Are we overplaying this so-called team of destiny thing, or maybe does it play a part in sports?
Well, first of all, the Dodgers were obviously a good team. To win the Western Division by 7 or 8 games like they did, and then to beat the Mets, they're a very good team. So they were a lot better than most people were giving them credit. But the team that is hot in the World Series is the team that's going to win. In a short series like that, a lot of times you'll get a team that might have been a little inferior to the other team, but they get hot at the right time and they'll win. And that's kind of what happened. But again, you can't stress enough how good the Dodger pitching was. That was the key to the whole series.
I couldn't let you go, Brian, without taking a look at a shot of the video that we have. Brian Harper had a great season, hitting .295. We're going to roll this video here. George Brett at the plate. He swings around, catching Brian on the face mask. Brian, what are your comments with that?
Well, at the time, that was the game where we were losing about 12-1. It was about 100 degrees in Kansas City, and we were so frustrated anyway because it was kind of a big game for us. And at that time, I just said, well, what else could go wrong today? It was just the topic, icing on the cake,
All right, thank you very much for being with us. Brian and his family are going to be heading out to the Orland Corning game, which is where I'm going to be headed before the night's over. Thanks for being with us. Good luck on a great season, and Dean and Winnie, back to you.
Thanks, Ron.
And we'll be back with more news soon. Stay put.
Do you think for yourself, or do you like other people telling you what to do? I know I have the right to make my own decisions. Have you heard about Proposition 99? That's the one that's going to triple the tax on cigarettes. I don't even smoke. This is a freedom issue. Prop 99 is designed by one group to punish others and keep the money for themselves. In America, we just don't do that. And when they start fooling around with my freedom, well, those are fighting words.
Vote no on Proposition 99.
Wilson voted against the bill.
Leo McCarthy's ads attacking Pete Wilson are false. Newspapers from Sacramento to San Diego call McCarthy's ads unfounded, false, sordid, smear tactics. The LA Daily News call McCarthy's campaign low-rent character attacks. The truth is, Pete Wilson voted for asbestos cleanup, for a crackdown on toxic polluters, for clean air, and for clean water. The truth is, you won't hear the truth from Leo McCarthy.
A pair of Chico State physics students today set out to prove Newton's third law. But what one of them sat on to prove the theory may have made Newton look twice. This jet-propelled tricycle was specially prepared with CO2 canister to prove for every action there must be an equal and opposite reaction. Fortunately, the test didn't prove another law.
We may increase the size of our canister on the back, which will kick us up speed a little faster, but we don't want to get out of control.
The jet tricycle will make its public debut during an upcoming Chico State football the halftime show on October 29th.
In 1 half hour on KHSL News at 6:30, we have a special story on former Butte County Sheriff Larry Gillick, who died last night.
The pre-election coverage continues with a look at Proposition 105. We invite you to stay tuned now for Dan Rather and the CBS Evening News.
As concern over water quality increases, many North Valley residents are finding better water at Durham Pump.
I bought a Connecticut from Durham Pump. I have confidence in the staff here at Durham Pump. I'm very happy with Durham Pump. They're reliable, they're friendly, they call me by my first name.
Durham Pump, your authorized Connecticut water treatment dealer and a proud member of the Water Quality Association.
I can depend on them.
Chico Nissan saves you money. Drive away this 89 Standard Sentra. No money down and just $155 a month. We're clearing out this 88 Standard Pickup. No down and only $69.99 or $152 a month. How about this 88 SC Pathfinder? No down and $324 a month. Or this 88 Maxima GXE. It's loaded. No down and $359 a month. And test drive the revolutionary 240SX with a sports car feel and affordable insurance. Hurry! We'll save you money at Chico Nissan.
Channel 12, the North State Finest.
This is the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting. Good evening. The U.S. government today formally accused Ferdinand and Imelda Marcos of a $250 million racketeering